Hi guys, my name is Nathaniela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about something that was discussed with Ghost Nation. I appreciate the Ghost Nation because we always learn a lot of things. And I went and did my research on it, and I was like, oh, okay, this means that is very true. But what I'm not saying that they don't talk about truthful things, but I'm just saying as I was like, I was like, oh, okay, this is so on point. So we're talking about the law of evidence when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case, because what you're about to hear destroyed this case foundation, and it's not about emotions, it's not about popularity, it's also not about who people want to blame regarding this entire situation, but it's about the law, and the law has zero sympathy for weak cases. It destroys it to the core, and whoever. But when it comes to the law, you need to pin it where it needs to be pinned and also exercise it exactly as it should be. So, rule number one of evidence, you do not throw things into perspective just because you want things to go a certain way. No, I remember Upusa even said, you don't throw bones in court like you are fishing in a pond or you ubisango. Yes, that's something like that that he said. And then it also says you do not guess, you don't do guessing work, guessing games, you don't speculate, you don't rely on vibes. You prove what you say. You prove. You allege things, then you need to prove them in law. If there is no proof, the law can't help you. You better say, this happened to I was marked by so and so. Prove that it was that so and so. Do you understand? You need proof. And here is the problem in the Senzo Meyiwa case. The case is built on trival, and that alone is a problem. And the cautionary rule exists. We'll talk about the cautionary rule that is ignored. The cautionary rule exists for one reason: to protect courts from unreliable witnesses, which is Uzungu, the constable, in this situation. Yet in this trial, the warning signs were flashing from day one, the time he took the stand. And similar fact evidence, illegal. Let's be clear. Similar facts evidence is illegal. It's not accepted by law. Hence, I said when I started earlier on this video that the law does not show mercy to nonsense. You need to prove things all the time. So you cannot say he did something similar before. For instance, when it comes to the accused, the way Gininda put them together in his head, he's like 3, 4, and 5 are violent. They were arrested for violent crimes when it comes to the taxi violence situation. No, you can't do that to law. When it comes to law, even if Ufiso Kuhlentulu is the most dangerous person according to what is in the courts, but you cannot say because of that, and then you come now and say, because Ufiso Kuhlentulu is always talking about him, he's a dangerous man. No, we're talking about this situation now. It doesn't mean he did this current one. You cannot say he did something similar before, therefore he did this. That's not justice. That's character assassination. Similar facts evidence is inadmissible unless strict exceptions apply, and they do not apply in the Senzo Meyiwa case, because they are painting the guys just because they are painting them. No, let them not say they are painting them. They are painting them just because they are dangerous criminals. They are dangerous criminals. Do you understand? So because of that, it's unfair. It's unfair to the state, to the law of South Africa, and also to the accused. You can't go down for something that you did not do. You need to go down for the actual crime that you did. So that is why we are also saying, when it comes to this case, similar facts, similar fact evidence is not applied. Is not applied here. No, it can't. And also, previous consistent statements still illegal. Repeating a story doesn't make it true. Even if Gininda can repeat and put it in other ways, everything that was said by Mthokozi Sithwala uTumelo Madlala, uZandile Khumalo, okusalayo, it won't make it true. If it did, liars would win every case. If it did. And when the witnesses discuss evidence outside court before testifying, you must know it's contaminated, tainted, inadmissible. That's game over. That's game over, because right now, son. Also, hearsay dead on arrival. Hearsay is not evidence, never has been, never will be. And when hearsay is placed against direct evidence wins always. And you know what's the sad part about this? This case is built on hearsay. The entire case is built on hearsay. Because Ukininta told us that, no, Ubabu Zungu, Absalom Zungu said he heard Umbexeni, hey, it's hearsay, yonke indaba yayo nje, yonke into yayo. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, Kengo. Constable Zungu. Let's deal with that. You don't need to be a lawyer. You just need common sense, guys. You just need common sense. On the 26th of October, 2014, at a busy hostel, are we seriously being told there was nobody else there? Just him and the 5 guys. No one else who was there. Really? Like literally no one else was there. No residents, no movement, no witnesses. That defies reality. An honest witness would say, we were moving around, buying alcohol, people were around, but instant silence. And the silence in law is loud. Why is Zungu not talking about other people that were there? No, there was a neighbor. Oh, by the way, this one, who's this child? Ukwabini is sharing the space that he lives in, but the people that he shares with are not mentioned by. Are not mentioned. Where he sleeps, he's sharing. There are other rooms there, but it's not mentioned by this one. Uzungu, the constable. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Corroboration. Let's talk about that. Corroboration. The kill shots. Here is a rule they don't want you to talk about. They don't want you to understand this. A witness cannot corroborate his own evidence. That means if no one else confirms your story collapses. Zungu has no corroboration, none. Meanwhile, other witnesses, their evidence aligns the defense witnesses. Their versions support each other, the defense witnesses. Their facts interlock the defense witnesses. That's what real proof looks like. We saw it, Babu Zungu, in fact, accused number 1, Babu Zungu, Gwabini, Makosonge, everything, they are things that are proven that they are corroborating each other. Exactly. Son. So it is just, I don't know how Judge Rota is going to maneuver this situation. How is he going to supposedly punish these guys without law? How is he going to do that? Because in South African law, you cannot punish people for crimes that were not proven. You can't do that. So ask yourself this: what sentence fits a crime that was never proven? There is absolutely none. There is absolutely none. The truth they hate is that this case should have ended at a section 174 because there was no case to answer, no defense required, release the accused, but they did not. Anything else is not justice. Anything above that is not justice, honestly. Now, if this case was about evidence, this case would be over. If this was about law, this case would be done. So the real question is, if it's not about evidence, what is it really about? What exactly are we doing here? Why is there back and forth? Drop your views in the comment section. Disagree loudly with me. Agree even louder. louder. I want to hear you. Tell me. Let's engage. I want to talk to you. Please make sure you do not you do not forget to like, to share, to comment. And most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end. Until then, I'll see you on our next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.